Hello, welcome to the Jacksonville History Show. I'm Emily Rutherford-Liska, Executive Director of the Jacksonville Historical Society. The History Show explores and celebrates local history, Jacksonville and North Florida history. And today we're going to celebrate that history with information about a Springfield home tour. And later in the show, we'll be talking about the 2015 Historic Preservation Awards. First, we'll start with a welcome to our friends from SPAR, as you're affectionately known, S-P-A-R, SPAR, the Springfield, okay, I said I was going to blow this, and I did already, the Springfield Preservation and Revitalization Council.
Yes.
And of course, SPAR will be the easy name, but we all associate that with the good work you do in Springfield. And this is one of your really most well-known projects. I've been going on, in fact, for 37 years, the Springfield Home Tour. And here with us is Bill Hoff, who's the president of SPAR, and Christina Parrish, you're the executive director. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So let's get started with the real obvious. When is the Springfield Home Tour?
The Springfield Home Tour is going to be June 6th and 7th. That's a Saturday and Sunday from noon until 5 both days.
And I know you have a very interesting variety again this year. We'll get to information about tickets, but give us a little overview. What can people expect to see if they decide to take the home tour?
Well, people usually come to enjoy the unique architecture of the neighborhood. So, of course, all of the 8 venues on the tour will have their own unique look. 8 of them are going to be open to the public. 7 of those are going to be original historic buildings. So those will all have been built from about 1900 till about 1918. We do have one new construction home as well that kind of fits into the architectural style of the neighborhood.
So almost everything that the public will see and visitors will see would be at least 100 years old. So that's exciting.
Yeah, just about.
And what I'd like to do, you've got the poster for the Springfield Home Tour pulled up. They're always engaging. And so we have that right now. And in fact, while that's up, tell people how they get tickets for the tour. And then we're going to talk about some of the places, specifics about the places they'll see.
Okay. People can buy them on our website, which is sparcouncil.org. Or we have 11 different local businesses all throughout the city where people can go buy them in person. They are $12 from now until a week before. So buy them now.
Oh, perfect. People have until early June or the dead end of May to get these tickets ahead of time.
Correct.
Christina, so good to have you here as well. I know that you're not new to SPAR, but recently SPAR started the position of executive director, and you've taken that on. You've been doing a lot of that work anyway. So let's talk about some of the houses I'll see. I know you're a resident, both of you are residents of Springfield.
Of course.
I know you are, and let's take a look at one of the first you'll see. Can you get a look at that from your vantage point?
We have a number of great venues this year, including a couple that were featured in one of my favorite books by Wayne Wood, Jacksonville's Architectural Heritage. The first venue that you see on the screen is a commercial building that's just been renovated at 5th and Main Street. It was originally a grocery store called the Wildcat Grocery, and it now houses a real estate office and a CDC. And that's the location where you can buy tickets on the days of the event. We'll also have a couple of businesses, including Eco Relics, featured there, doing some demonstrations and showing some of their merchandise.
So since that's a place you can buy tickets, say the address again if you didn't.
It's at 1501 Main Street at the corner of 5th and Main.
Right at 5th and Main Street, so that's pretty straightforward to find that. And let's take a look at yet another, oh my, look at this, turrets and all.
This is a fabulous house built right after the turn of the last century. It is one that's featured in Jacksonville Architectural Heritage. It was recently purchased by new owners after sitting vacant for a few years. They're doing an extensive renovation. And I know I talked to one of the owners just a week ago, and she's very hopeful that they will be completely finished by the time
really?
the tour starts.
Good.
She's a little nervous about not having all her furniture in and that kind of thing, but it's a spectacular building and sits on a double lot, has a lot of beautiful stained glass, and it's a very special place.
Well,
It
that
is.
would be exciting to tour just on its own, but here you have all these other venues. Sure, let's take a look.
This is our new construction home. It's on East 4th Street, and it's surrounded by historic buildings, but this one was built around 2005, maybe
about-
a little more recently.
Yeah, a little more recent.
And it was built, of course, was approved by the historic planners with the city, because all of the houses built in Springfield even today have to meet certain requirements under our historic ordinance. But this is another really great bungalow, which you don't see a whole lot of bungalows in Springfield. We typically have more two-story buildings. This is a lovely house that people will enjoy
It's
seeing.
a beauty. Boy, look at this one. Go ahead.
Yeah, this house on Liberty Street. Bill, you may know more about this one than I do.
This house was recently purchased. So the owners have been in there for about a year. And one of the owners is a professional photographer, and she actually helped make the poster that you saw. This is an example of traditional American four-square architecture here. I believe it was built in 1909. And it's about 90% done with their renovation. So there's some really neat local art inside it as well.
Okay, and we're going to go to the next one, and then we may pause for. Oh, yes.
Well, this is a really special venue that we have this year. This house was originally the home of the Barnett family. That name is very familiar to people in Jacksonville. They were the founders of Barnett Bank. And it was built just after the 1901 fire. A lot of people moved from downtown to Springfield after the fire. Hogan's Creek is what protected the houses in Springfield from the fire, and I think people felt like it would be a good, safe place to be afterwards. And it was kept in the same family until the 1940s, when it was purchased by the Solomon Lodge, which is the oldest Masonic lodge in Jacksonville. And they have owned it and maintained it ever since then. So it's almost never open to the public, but it will be open for this tour.
And I want to pause just for a minute and talk to you, Christina, and then to you, Bill. Tell me about your own personal Springfield adventure as a homeowner. And you know, you're home now, and I think, Christina, you have some change of plans within Springfield.
I do. I moved to Springfield from San Marco about 5 years ago, and I had always loved the architecture in the neighborhood, and got there and learned that not only was it beautiful architecturally, but it was just a wonderful, friendly place. Can't imagine living anywhere else now. I live on the east side of Main Street now. We have a friendly rivalry between Springfield residents, and that is especially important this time of year. July 4th, we have another event in Springfield that's a lot of fun. It's our throwback baseball game. And the residents on the east side play against the residents on the west side, and they actually dress in turn-of-the-century uniforms and play with old equipment, and we end up having several hundred people in Clutho Park to enjoy that game.
Who's going in this year with the best record, the East Siders or West Siders?
The east side, which I'm still an east side resident for now, typically wins the baseball game. I think the West Side has won
It just
one
depends.
time. It depends.
It just depends on the year.
Bill is also a former East Side resident. Now that he's moved over to the other side, that may change the dynamic.
This is right. So people love Springfield so much. A lot of movement within the community from one Springfield home to another.
Correct.
And so what about your Springfield life, Bill?
Well, my wife and I have been there about 7 years. We moved from Riverside. And we rented first just to see how we like it. Then we bought a house on East 7th. We were there for about 4 years, and we moved to a larger house about a year and a half ago. So now we're on Laura Street.
Well, all this speaks so highly of Springfield and the lifestyle in that community for Jacksonville. Before we wrap up here, let's just remind everybody about the home tour, just a signature event for SPAR, and tell us about that again. It's when it is, where it is, and how you get the tickets.
It is Saturday and Sunday, June 6th and 7th. People can buy them early for a little bit less, either online on our website, sparcouncil.org, or at 11 different local businesses around the city. All of that information is on our website, or you can buy them the day of at 1501 North Main.
Well, I think there are a few houses we didn't get to, and I apologize for that. It's my fault. But people can go out, can see them on that June weekend. It's going to be glorious, I'm sure, as usual. 37th year, congratulations. Thank you for being with us today. SPAR Council Representatives Christina Parrish and Bill, thank you so much, President of the organization. And if everyone stays with us, we'll come back with another feature on the Preservation Awards for 2015 for Jacksonville, Florida. I bet SPAR will be in there somewhere. Springfield will be. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Emma.